All right. Good morning, everyone. I think everybody missed us. We've been out of town doing some pretty great stuff. So, anyway, welcome. And before we get started, we're going to hear from one of our sponsors. Guys, if you know any vendors out there, title companies, home warranty, mortgage, anybody out there that wants to be a sponsor, not only on the podcast, but at the forum, please reach out to us. But anyway, let's get started by hearing Family First
Home
Home
inspections.
Inspections. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Tim McKean, Family First Home Inspections. I've been doing inspections in the Valley for about 17 years. My inspection reports are very user-friendly, very easy to read, easy to understand. And the best part is I email my reports usually within an hour of completing the inspection. I also can order a termite inspection for you, and as an added bonus, I can order a free roof inspection done by a roofing company. My number is 480-577-5501, or you can email me at the address below. Thanks. Have a great day.
Well, good morning once again. Have you ever wondered why some people just never reach their full potential? I mean, I think we all got it in us to do some great stuff in our own
Wow.
I don't know.
In our own realms. We all.
That's
Yes.
it. I was going to say a word and you would have going to make fun of me. Why some people actually, when you look at them, are living their best life. They're pursuing their dreams. They're fulfilling the God-given talents and the unique purpose that God has given them. And others just aren't. So this question, most people often find themselves asking themselves is, why is that? Well, this week on MidWeek MindFreak, we're going to be talking about the keys to living your best life.
Chuck and Angela run multiple million-dollar companies. They are members of Riz Media's Billionaire Club, have coached and mentored thousands of agents, and are international speakers. They say by radically changing your mindset, not only can you change your outlook on life, but affect the actual results you obtain. Welcome to MidWeek MindFreak.
Welcome to MidWeek MindFreak, where we believe the battle is in your mind. And so we're going to be talking about some great stuff. I think it's going to piggyback off of, what we just got back from Cabo. We're actually in Salt Lake City first, doing some training up there with some awesome people. Spring and her husband Brian with Sisu, great product. Then they went down to Cabo to mastermind and do some seminars with like-minded people at eXp Realty, doing some great stuff.
Always rejuvenates us.
Always.
For sure.
And that's why I think what piggyback is, are you living the life that you want? How do you make sure that you could thrive in life? So people look at us and they go, oh my gosh, you're in Cabo and how nice it is. And I really wish that's somewhere I dream of going. And, we talk to a lot of different people that's kind of their narrative. Is that your narrative? Is that the narrative you have where you look at things and go, wow, I wish I had that type of lifestyle or was able to do those type of things? And here's the sad part. The sad part is stop wishing. Stop wishing and do. You can achieve it. And that's what we're going to talk about, those type of keys, the things you should be doing in life to get there, to achieve those type of goals. So I think let's just dive in, because I really do want people to strive and live these type of lifestyles that possibly you could achieve. Because let's face it, we were broke. We were broke, ready to get out of the business. Ready to move in with my parents.
If we're honest, we thought really small too.
Yes. And so these keys that we're going to go over is what we go through, is what's helps us get to where we are. And believe me, we're not where we want to be. We want to keep growing. So, gee, I always have a problem breathing in this house. I don't know. Anyway, let's start us off, Angela. Let's go over some keys that can help you achieve the life that you may want to live.
I think that you actually, in this case, I think you should start, because feeding your mind actually sets the stage for everything we're going to talk about.
Your hand motions is going to make this camera.
Don't move your hands.
Moving your damn hands. Unbelievable. So you want me to start?
I do. I think it goes better.
Okay. So I think the first key is feeding your mind. I think that's huge. Here's the thing. If you don't feed your mind, stop moving your hands. See, because it's see, if you can't see us right now, what Angela does is she moves her hands constantly, and then the camera will move to her. Anyway.
Most people are listening. Don't pay attention.
Yeah, you pay attention. Oh, are you hinting me to move on? Feeding your mind. If you don't feed your mind, someone else will. Or something else will, like media or something. But, you know, Albert Einstein once said, if you feed your mind as often as you feed your stomach, then you'll never have to worry about feeding your stomach, or a roof over your head, or clothes on your back. I mean, think about that. Basically, what he's saying is, you don't have to worry about anything if you feed your mind. You're going to be successful. You're going to make money. You're going to live the life that you want. But the sad part is very few people live by that principle. They discount it. Most of the people, what you do is you feed your bodies. You talk about exercising, keeping yourself healthy, all important stuff. But you neglect feeding your mind. It's like strengthening that muscle. I think it's probably the most important. I don't know if you can call it a muscle. It's probably not. It's an organ.
But it's a discipline.
It's a discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after finishing school, people just put on the shelves learning and feeding their mind, and don't put it on your to-do list. If you were to look at your to-do list, how many people have regimens of actually feeding your mind, purposely feeding your mind with some great stuff? Put in the comments, guys, if what you do maybe to feed your mind, so other people get some ideas. But you want to train your mind. It is an intentional action that you need to take. You know, so look at stuff like, what are you reading? What are you watching? Big deal. You know, the media is not designed to educate you. Wake up, people. Wake up. You're not being educated. It's a clickbait. You know, their job is to get your eyeballs on their media, whether it be news feed, whether it be a TV channel, anything. That's their job. It's clickbait.
It's a show, just like everything else.
Based off of rating, based off of people that own it, that have a valued interest in making money off of your eyeballs. It's designed to get your attention. It's not real. Guys, let me just tell you something. Most of the stuff that's out there is not real. And here's what you get sucked into, and I do too. And I'm watching it. I'm watching it at a rapid pace. What we get consumed by is trying to decipher, is what we're reading real or not? Conspiracy theories. Is this one? What they're putting out there, what they want you to see, they're presenting as reality. And then the debate goes on. This is all we do. And I watch it every day, and I'm sure you guys watch it too. We debate more on, is this war real? Is the purpose real? Is Russia really a tyrant? Are they not a tyrant? It's like this constant debate. And you know what that does, guys? Here, ready? Wake up. It sucks the friggin' life out of you.
It's certainly not adding to your life.
No, but when it consumes your time, what is it? If something consumes your time, something has to suffer from your time being consumed. And what is suffering is you growing in your life because you're more concerned trying to decipher if the media is right, if the government's right, who's deceiving you, who's doing this, who's doing that. Let's put it this way. We live in a jacked up world.
We sure do.
And I look at it this way. I have a finite time here on this earth, and my sole job for myself, for my family, for my friends, is to focus on making us successful, is focus on what I'm in control of. And if my time is being pulled in a direction that has nothing to do with my growth, then I'm wasting my time. So when people say, oh, I don't have time to do that, or you know why? Because you're focused on shit that doesn't affect your growth.
I absolutely agree.
It could be right down to gossip. So that's what you do. Guys, just look at social media. I want you to see, if you're watching this show, if you're listening to us, look at social media and watch how many things are based off of nothing that has to do with your growth in your life. And your
almost
success.
Everything.
It's sad, right? Don't you agree? So number one is, what do you want? Well, we talked about what are you reading? What are you watching? Now, I also want to say, look, TV isn't all that bad.
No, we've watched some really interesting things that have been helpful.
Yeah, and
like documentaries.
Oh, I was just going to say that. You beat me to it.
Oh, I beat you.
You read
I'm the wiener.
And that's something that we've been watching and intentionally watching, the documentaries. Now also be careful. Documentaries are also ones that are that clickbait, get your attention. They're creating their narrative for you to walk away angry at something. It fed your brain nothing but garbage or partially of a biased opinion. But I'm talking documentaries about history, about leaders, about business builders. We just watched that documentary about World War II. And here's the crazy thing. I hate school. I literally hate it.
You love learning, though.
But I love learning. I've been becoming a sponge for learning. So when I'm learning stuff about history, it's because I never listened in school. So
right.
Everybody out there might be going, Chuck, that's dumb. We all know that. But I never knew in World War II how many past presidents were in that war, like actively in that war, right down to JFK. And it's funny because I always remember that boat PT-109. I don't know why it always stuck in my head, but I had no idea what happened with JFK and what he did, which made a whole different look on that man.
Well, I think that what you're saying and the point that you're making that I'm hearing is, you have to feed your mind, but you have to be extremely discerning. So, for example, I heard Tony Robbins say, how do you decide what to read or what to consume, right? It's not the stuff that comes to you, like your text messages and social media and things like that. You have to pursue learning and pursue the right type of information. So how do you decide that? You either say, he said, look at poor people, ask what they're reading and don't read that. And then look at successful people or those people that you're trying to emulate, ask what they're reading and read that.
Perfect. And which leads into my last point of feeding your mind, because that is so spot on. Stop following the masses, because sometimes the M is silent. Figure that one
Get
out.
it?
Because just because most people are doing something doesn't mean that's what you follow. Look at their progress where you want to be, which leads to that last part about feeding your mind is, who are you surrounding yourself with? If you want to change your life, if you are not where you want to be, if you feel like the success you want, the life you want to live is not there, quite often it's because you need to change your environment of the people in your life. That basically what Angela was just saying about don't read what some of them are reading. Also, don't hang around with the ones who are getting nowhere and expect to get somewhere on your own.
Yeah. And when I say poor, I'm not necessarily meaning financial, although
No.
that's true. Poor in spirit, poor in mindset, poor in their relationships. You know, you hang around with a bunch of gossipy women who complain about their husbands, you become one of those gossipy women complaining about your husband, right? You've got to, the poor it applies to all parts of life. So make sure that your definition of poor is wide enough so that you're making good choices on purpose.
Yeah, and yes, Linda, exactly. Get into some great training programs. Ninja selling is top notch, and that's what you're feeding your mind, guys. So it is a big deal. You know, you'll constantly hear me and Angela say, "Who you surround yourself with matters." You know, I want to give a shout out to Denny. Denny, one of Denny and Trish, our agents that were at Revelation. When we made the move to EXP, we got a lot of backlash from agents, a lot of backlash. And a lot of people didn't come with us. And I don't want to say narrow-minded, hey, for whatever reason, that's what they do. But Denny said something. We were in Cabo, around 3,000 like-minded, growth-minded professionals. A good majority of them are multi-millionaires. And quite honestly, we even had the good fortune, my new friend Glenn Stearns, who's a billionaire, got to sit with him, had dinner, chatted. So here's where I'm going with that. Denny sat next to me at an event, and he says, wow, look at this. Look where we're at. Thank you, because what we did by closing down Revelation was to give our agents, now watch the word, opportunity to grow and to be around bigger thinkers. But guess the piece, here's the piece that's missing. The piece that's missing is that the other agents had to realize that opportunity and do something about it. And Denny was the only agent at that event to witness why we did what we did. Now, I know some of them understand that weren't able to go, but that is surrounding yourself with bigger thinkers, growth-minded, and it is extremely important. So, you're next.
So, yeah, I want to just add one more thing about knowledge, feeding your brain. If you're just consuming information to try to just get stuff in your head, I'm not going to say it's worthless, but it's not worth as much by far as if you act on it in a massive way. So you not only do you need to consume information and feed your mind, but you need to act on the things that you're learning. If something's hitting you or resonating with you, go take action on it. And then the other thing that I'm going to start with is your mind and your body are not separate. Feeding your mind is super important, but you also have to pay attention to your body. You've got to feed your body correctly. And it's obviously good nutrition and all those things that we know, but there's this thing about exercise and pushing your body outside of its normal comfort zone. Just like when you push your mind to learn things out of your comfort zone, your body also responds favorably to that over time. And so, for example, let's say, if you radically change the way that you're feeling in the moment, your body has a radical physical change. And here's the thing: we live in a world full of fear and anxiety. And fear and anxiety is a physical reaction. When you're afraid or when you have anxiety, you feel it in your body. It's not just something that happens in your mind, right? And so when you are expending energy on changing the state of your body, that helps you to deal with that fear and anxiety. Remember, it all goes together. You're feeding your mind better stuff, and you're feeding your body some ways to get out energy or change the energy in your body so that you can do things afraid, right? Courage isn't not being afraid. Courage is doing things when you're afraid. And all that has to work together. You can't be a lump on a log and have your best life.
The easy way to do that is look, we're not preaching to go jump in the gym and for 30 minutes to an hour every day. Take baby steps, guys. It's creating habits. I don't care if it's 10, 15 minutes a day. Go buy yourself some bands, the exercise bands, 10, 15 minutes. That's all.
Just do
Get
something.
your body moving, because like Angela said, it's stuff that correlates to everything else that you don't see. Your body gives off chemicals, endorphins, and everything else to get your body in the right mode. So physically, we need to do that.
Wait, no, one more thing about that. I'm not done. Because when you show discipline, whether it's discipline in your mind or discipline in your body, that stretches out to other things. You need to, if you get some discipline in one area of your life, it's easy to transfer that discipline to other areas of life, like prospecting or things that you need to do for your business.
Yeah. The next one, guys, is, and this is a big one, you can't do it alone. I think we all have this tendency to think we don't need other people to help us. I'll give you an example, because I think it just goes to show that we're rooted in pride from the day we're born. And like, I believe pride is sin, and we're all sinful nature. So think about this example as a kid. As a kid, kids want to do things independently. So if you have kids, you'll relate to this. So let's say they want to start tying their shoes. And here's what the kids do. They go, no, I'll do it myself. All kids want to do things by themselves. But the problem is that learning to tie your shoes, you have to be taught. And you have to master that task. So when you offer assistance, here's what the kid says, no, I can do it all by myself. See, you can't. The kid cannot tie his shoes because there's skills and knowledge necessary for tying the shoes. And what they do is get frustrated and throw little tantrums, and they want to do it themselves, till you start to teach them how to tie their shoes. So the frustration, even as an adult, if you think about it, we all want to do things on our own. We believe, because we're rooted in pride, that, which is a sin, that if we ask for help, that we're weak, or we're losers, or that we can't do it on our own, or that it's a sign of, like I said, weakness or failure. So while this may be a worldly mindset, it's not the mindset of Jesus. It's not a biblical concept. See, Jesus told his disciples that apart from him, they could do nothing. You see, I love the verse, John 15, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. And apart from me, you can do nothing. You see, God created us as the body within him. He's already demonstrated the way us human beings are created, not to do things alone. You see, Jesus is not commanding, but rather inviting his disciples to abide in him. He promised blessings, and that they bear much fruit. Not just fruit, much fruit. So guys, right there, it just shows doing things alone is not the way we were created. And doing things alone is a root of pride. And just as an apple cannot be produced if it's not staying connected to the tree branch for nourishment and life, it's the same as us, guys. Our tendency is to rely on our own knowledge, skills, or experience, but actually becomes a stumbling block. So we may eventually find ourselves defeated, discouraged, secretly longing to throw ourselves on the floor like that kid.
Right. We were just talking about that on vacation, how kids, they just cry out loud, or they just yell out loud. Can you imagine if we just did that, throw ourselves on the ground?
Oh my gosh. So here's the thing. I'm just appealing to people out there. If you're listening, and like I said, we're talking about reaching that level of success in your life and finding that happiness, if you feel like you're defeated, discouraged, and secretly longing to throw yourself on the floor, it's because you're doing it alone. You're not around the right people. And our belief and our hope is to abide in Christ, who is the fruit for everything in our life. So here's what you want to do. Find role models, mentors, coaches, good partners. Look, without my beautiful wife, I wouldn't be where I'm at. That is the foundation to us, is because I couldn't do it alone. And so find people where you want to be and connect with them and fellowship with them. And one last thing I'll leave you with it. And there will be seasons of people who are in your life that will fill a purpose and then they're gone.
And that's okay.
Do not give up. Do not say that doesn't work. Then you go find other people. Keep your inner circle small and tight, guys.
And full of quality.
And full of quality. And pour into each other.
I want to add just one more thing to that. That's really related to that is you got to be a giver. That is when you're a giver and you can live your best life. Like seriously, if you guys have never felt the endorphin rush of being wildly generous with your time or your money or your resources to somebody else who needs it, you're missing out on living your best life. Like literally, I think that the reason why that's so fulfilling, not for brownie points and not for kudos and not for accolades, but because it's the right thing to do, or it's a good thing to do, or it's helpful. We were created to be a blessing. And when you truly come from a place of generosity and authentic generosity, the giving makes, I just got chills. It rounds out the way that we were created. And that has something very closely to do with what you were just saying of being in community.
Yes.
So if you're in real estate, we'll be a giver to you. That's for sure. We'll help you because helping you get to success feeds us too. So be a giver and that will help you live your best life.
You're done?
Yeah.
Wow, that was a quick ending.
Was that a pow-pow?
No. It
No.
was just a quick ending.
It was just a pew.
Anyway, guys, a couple of quick things that you can plug into. We got some big events coming up. If you're in Arizona, even if you're not, you want to fly in. We got some great stuff happening at the forum. April 12th. This is a huge. We just added two more.
It's actually almost sold out.
Two more speakers. Mr. Kurt Shewell from Michigan manages over $300 million team. He will be flying in from Michigan. Shireen, wow, we just added her.
She's amazing.
Great story, how to overcome adversity. Like that lineup, if you don't know about it, so it's the West Coast tour. We will have Brent Gove, Jason Gesson, CEO for eXp Realty, Curtis Johnson, Jennifer Weiner,
Glenn Stearns,
undercover billionaire, will be there, guys. So the event is April 12th. Go on Eventbrite. I don't know where.
I'll put it up on
Facebook group.
I'll put it up on my Instagram so you can get
follow us, Chuck and Angela Fazio, the iconic power couple. You'll find it there. Get your tickets. After party afterwards on the patio. It'll be the grand opening of the patio at the forum. So come to that.
And ladies, we have Flourish event coming up April 20th through the 22nd. It is the most, hands down, amazing women's event that you could possibly go to. And that also is up. It's up on my Instagram now to get your tickets. And I'll put the West Coast tour up on my Instagram today.
Full of great speakers.
Yeah, we have speakers from all over the United States flying in to bless you guys, whether, it's 2 half days of speakers and a VIP dinner. So go and look at theflourishevent.com.
Guys, if you're out there in your real estate and you're struggling and not at eXp Realty, you want us as your partners, literally your partners. Reach out to us. We always look to partner. We partner with people all over the country. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. Share this podcast with others that you think may need to hear this, and we appreciate you guys. God bless you, and have a great